Thank you for enlightening us. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're still watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Let's take a break. More to come.
What is fake news? With no verifiable source presented as true story on media platforms with the sole intention of causing injuries, chaos, and disaffection between persons, groups, or countries. Fake news facilitates extremism. Fake news creates panic and distrust. Fake news breeds hatred. Fake news kills. Don't joke with it. Don't be in a rush. Verify your sources and facts. It is better late than fake. This message is brought to you by NTA News24.
Thanks for staying with us. Now to education. For Niger standard for safe schools across the Federation, priority must be placed on provision of safe school infrastructure and adequate financing. This, among other issues, were the focal points as stakeholders in the education sector commemorate 10 years of Chibok schoolgirls' abduction. Olayin Kauja reports that this was at the instance of the United Nations Children Fund.
Students were adopted from Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok in Borno State. And through the combined efforts of government and other individuals, a total of 184 have so far been released, while Nigerians are still hoping for the safe return of the remaining 92.
The civil society group Enough is Enough estimates that 1,952 primary and secondary school children, girls and boys, have been taken from at least 38 schools in 17 states.
Of safe school standards.
If you look at the plan closely, we have the funding gap is expected to come from states and the local government. So it's a commitment trying to address the issues of attacks on education.
Citizens will be conscious enough to know when to give you alert. And that is why we are saying that even our security premises will be more friendly.
Let us transform our policies into action.
South State for Education stated this at the opening of a 5-day capacity building workshop for gender desk officers and others from 6 selected states and the Federal Ministry of Education holding in Suleja, Niger State. Chukunonso Unwabweze reports.
The training, which is put together by the Federal Ministry of Education in collaboration with UNESCO's International Institute for Educational Planning, IIEP, and Gender at the Center Initiative, GCI, is to build the capacity of gender desk officers and other relevant officers drawn from 6 selected states of Abia, Bauchi, Delta, Kebbi, Kogi, and Ogun for an improved gender equality in education at state level.
As we all know here in Nigeria, once you mention gender, it comes with a lot of means and interpretations. So it's something that you have to know how to handle. And in handling that, you need the knowledge, and the knowledge must be acquired. Because we all realize that the only way we can do is to see how can we improve inclusive education. As of today, education is most skewed toward a male child, and there is need also to improve on the enrollment of a girl child in education.
UNESCO, actually gender is a priority, is one of the global priority with Africa. And it's natural that we accompany the member states to ensure how they will track, how they will ensure that gender be maintained in all the plans, and particularly in the education sector.
We are here to accompany states as they seek to understand the different gender inequalities and disparities and dimensions within their own context, and then for them to develop their own solutions to solving those challenges.
With the theme Gender Responsive Educational Planning and Gender Equality, these participants are expected at the end of the workshop to put into use the knowledge and skills garnered to enhance gender balancing across different stages of education in Nigeria. Chukunonso Unwabweze, NTA News.
And 22 students and staff of the Federal University Gusau, rescued by the security and intelligence agencies, have been handed over to the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who was at the National Counterterrorism Center, Abuja, venue of the event, reports that the NSA commended President Bola Tinubu for continued support.
I feel highly honored on this wonderful opportunity
were conducted in 3 batches.
The first batch were rescued on 15th March 2024, while the second batch were rescued on 12th April 2024. The last batch were rescued on 14th April 2024. None of the females were molested, and all the females tested negative to pregnancy tests.
This is yet again a success story in our efforts to free all those being unlawfully held.
The National Security Advisor commended their parents for their patience during the operations and the security and intelligence agencies for sustained efforts, stressing that more than 1,000 victims have been rescued so far.
On behalf of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I thank all those who got involved in this very successful rescue of the victims without losing anyone or paying any ransom.
The Zamfara state government also commended the federal government for its commitment to further secure the nation. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now, 21 suspected members of the Yoruba Nation agitation group who invaded the Oyo State Government Secretariat Ibadan on Saturday, 13th of April 2024, have been paraded at the Police State Command Headquarters as the police declares that no casualty was recorded during the arrest. Grace Ayolike has more.
Armed men who were suspected to be agitators of Yoruba Nation engaged in an open shootout with security men inside the Oyo State Secretariat. Security operatives comprising Oyo State Amotekun operatives and other security apparatus have been stationed around the assembly complex to forestall the breakdown of law and order. They were reportedly dressed in army uniform and covered their faces in masks with heavy ammunition and the flag of the proposed Yoruba Nation. Meanwhile, in a statement, the public relations officer of the Oyo State Police Command, Adewale Osifeso, said 20 of the suspects have been arrested after being overpowered by security operatives. He added that weapons were recovered from the invaders. From the Oyo State House of Assembly complex, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian Army says it will investigate the alleged unprofessional conduct of some of its personnel that led to the death of a hotel manager in Umuahia, Abia State. In a statement, the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, affirms that the Army has ordered a full-scale investigation into the incident to ascertain the facts and bring to book anyone found culpable. The Nigerian Army extends its heartfelt condolences to the families of the deceased manager, Mr. Achugo James, and the Nigerian
points. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 11.16% points higher compared to the rate recorded in March 2023, which was 22.04%. This shows that the headline inflation rate on a year-on-year basis increased in the month of March 2024 when compared to the same month in the preceding year, that is March 2023. Looking at the state with the highest and lowest rise in food inflation, Abia State came highest with 5.17% and Adamawa with 2.12%. And looking at tax matters, federal government introduces Incentive Monitoring and Evaluation Platform, IMEP, for effective evaluation of tax expenditures. The aim of the Incentive Monitoring and Evaluation Platform is to ultimately cut down on cost of tax expenditures and ensure tax incentive positively impacts on the economy. The Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wole Ido, has approved the addition of Electronic Monitoring and Evaluation Framework to the current IDEC process. This is to establish an automated system that enables the ministry to effectively measure the impact of custom duty exemptions granted to various entities. The system is designed to provide a framework to checkmate and restrict ineligible applicants, enforce compliance to fiscal policies, and provide an impact analysis of tax incentives on the economy. This will further eliminate the misuse of tax expenditures, support the delivery of economic outcomes from fiscal incentives, and strengthen the direct measurement of the impact of tax incentives on the economy. Let's take a look at Monday tradings on the floor of the exchange. Business News, Alika Opanachi, Arua.
Thank you, Alika. Now to oil and gas. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has confirmed a total oil and condensate reserves of 37.50 billion barrels. This also contains total gas reserves of 209.26 trillion cubic feet of gas as the official national petroleum reserves as at January 2024. The Commission Chief Executive Officer Gbenga Komolafe, who briefed journalists in Abuja, also unveiled a template for clarity on domestic crude oil obligations. Lydia Sampson brings us details.
The country's oil and gas 2023 stood at 36.96 billion barrels, with a total oil and condensate reserves of 37.50 billion barrels this year, with positive gross addition to oil and gas reserves of 1.087 billion barrels and 2.573 trillion cubic feet of gas respectively recorded. Gbenga Komolafe says the nation's hydrocarbon increase is consolidating a player. He attributes the positive results to the policy directives of President Bola Tinubu's effort to create a more enabling environment conducive for strategic investment in the oil and gas sector.
His Excellency, Mr. President, has shown determination towards removing obstacles to investment in the Nigerian upstream, improving the investment climate, positioning Nigeria as the preferred investment destination for the oil and gas sector in Africa, and diversifying the economy for the benefit of all Nigerians.
He also unveiled the domestic crude oil obligation template, which provides clarity on legal issues, currency of transactions, which could either be in dollars or naira, as well as logistics and basics for crude oil cargo allocation, sanctions against acts of default.
The Commission is committed to improving the country's oil and gas reserves, as well as the successful completion of all strategic initiatives that would enhance the sector's productivity, including the Nigerian gas flare commercialization plan.
Gbenga Komolafe says the template produced in consultation with key stakeholders will enhance domestic refining interagency collaboration to ensure consistent supply of crude oil to domestic refineries. A strategic initiative which aligns with the policy of the current administration and the declaration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Nigeria is ready for business. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
A national artificial intelligence strategy for Nigeria to responsibly steer the AI revolution towards achieving national goals around job creation, social inclusion, and sustainable development has become imperative. Those were the words of the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, at the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy Workshop in Abuja. ICT correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
The International Finance Cooperation projects that the strategic adoption of AI could add up to $234 billion to Africa's GDP by 2030. Nigeria, in this loop, is considered to have a fast-growing technology startup ecosystem, having attracted 25% of the $1.3 billion funding to African tech startups in 2021, and with proactive leadership, and is well positioned to leverage AI for economic diversification and inclusive growth. Gathered here are 120 leading Nigerian AI researchers and practitioners, technology companies, civil societies, and other groups to co-create a comprehensive national artificial intelligence strategy, leveraging human-centered design approach to formulate a strategy focused on the needs of Nigerian citizens and communities. The need to coordinate and harness the power of artificial intelligence for national development is a critical element in Nigerians' journey towards using technology to accelerate productivity.
We're here not just to think about application, but to think also about how do we safeguard society from artificial intelligence as well. And how do we do that in a way where we're not just pushing it back at innovation and technology, but we're doing it from a place of insight and knowledge, so that we can actually capture the gains from it, but also protect society from its vices as well.
AI offers the opportunity to leverage technology to solve some complex and urgent challenges in security, education, agriculture, healthcare, and much more.
The approach is fundamental because it will help us to use our diverse insights and expertise to create a strategy that is inclusive and also reflecting our national consensus.
Expected outcomes from the workshop will be a draft national AI strategy document defining the strategic imperatives, policies, investment, implementation, roadmap, governance structure, and necessary steps to catalyze Nigeria into an AI-driven economy. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Let's talk biosafety. Survey has shown that data transportability of genetically modified products within the EU and ECOWAS region will not only boost food sufficiency but eliminate redundancy in local testing required to enhance a robust biosafety practice for the protection of human health and the environment. Key players from the National Biosafety Management Agency in Nigeria, experts from Ghana and the AUDA NEPAD in Abuja underscored the importance of understanding the barriers and potential enablers of biosafety data sharing, especially from confined field trials, for regulatory decision-making, bearing in mind the opportunities and challenges that abound.
Them is resistant to that pod borer. You see holes once you buy beans. Right from production, you're able to solve that through agricultural biotechnology.
Data transportability is a safety and economic enabler for the development of our national system. Not just
bid to strengthen community policing across the 6 area councils, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has donated operational motorcycles to the Nigeria Police Force and other sister security agencies in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu captured the symbolic handover ceremony.
Security agencies to combat crime and criminality, particularly in the rural communities.
I don't want to hear stories tomorrow. Cycles are nowhere to be found again. I don't want to hear such stories. Because sometimes when you give out vehicles, before you know it, the vehicles are no longer there. Please utilize these motorcycles to fight crime in the areas you have identified. The area councils, ordinarily, the chairman of the area councils ought to handle this, but this is our support to them in their various area councils.
It's good for policy. And we want to thank the Honorable Minister and tell him that he will see the difference because we needed them. You can see we demanded for more. Even the one that can carry GPMG, we demanded for it.
The Commandant General of the VGN Navy Captain Abubakar Umar Bakuri, retired, assures the Minister that the operational motorcycles will be judiciously deployed to strengthen rural security in the territory.
It shows that he knows the concept of internal security because we are the first line of defense. And he has given us much because he has given about 10 in each area council.
He added that with this gesture, the response time of the operation will be speedily reduced. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Talking politics, the All Progressives Congress APC in the Southwest Zone will continue to work with states and other stakeholders to ensure that APC remains the party of choice. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated this after a meeting with 8 of APC national executive members from the Southwest in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakwe reports.
The meeting, attended by APC National Executive Council members, zonal officers and state chairmen from the Southwest, is the first since the appointment of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the party's Southwest coordinator. Governor Sanwo-Olu says the essence is to deliberate and come up with far-reaching decisions that will reposition and strengthen the APC.
Other things will follow. We'll begin to do a lot of work behind the scene, and engaging, issues that we have in some of our states, and try to bring all of us together, begin to look at areas where we can indeed intervene as a zone, especially with critical stakeholders. And just to generally put APC as the biggest party in Africa, the biggest party in the country, to continue to remain the biggest party in Southwest.
In a communique presented at the end of the meeting, the Southwest executives resolved, among other initiatives, to prioritize empowerment and engagements with students, youths, women, and persons with disabilities.
After discussing the challenges facing the party in the zone, this meeting resolved to immediately set up a zonal office of the party in Ibadan, and also to immediately set up a liaison and operational office in Lagos.
The party executives, who also reserved to harmonize all states in the Southwest and reconcile all feuding parties, say a Southwest Assembly of the All Progressives Congress will be convened in June this year. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakbuya, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Kebbi State House of Assembly has suspended Hassan Umar, a member representing Birnin Kebbi North constituency, for alleged misconduct. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
Allegations of misconduct by Hassan Umar, a member of Kebbi State House of Assembly representing Birnin Kebbi North constituency, has been in the air for quite a while. The House therefore set off a committee to investigate the matter. After the committee submitted its findings to the House, the Assembly in an executive sitting found the member guilty of 3 allegations and was therefore suspended for 6 months. The clerk of the House, Alhaji Suleiman Shamaki, said he was found guilty of instigating other members against the leadership of the House.
Honorable Hassan was accused and found guilty for his unguarded utterances. You see, as an honorable member, you need to watch your words. And the third reason for suspension was Honorable Hassan was also found guilty in his attempt to bring disharmony between the executive and legislature. As everybody knows, we have a very cordial working relationship with the executive.
The suspension of the member Hassan Umar is with immediate effect. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
In 2021, the Nigerian Parliament introduced a program which is now an established tradition. It is the Zonal Intervention Fund, popularly known as Constituency Project. 24 years after, this fund is said to have received more criticism than praise. In fact, it has received more criticism than any National Assembly initiated program. In this report, Ignatius Unquart takes a look at the running of the Zonal Intervention Fund, also known as Constituency Project.
Zonal Intervention Program, if you like call it Constituency Project, one of the features of the Nigerian Parliament introduced at the return of Nigeria's democracy in the Fourth Republic. In the wisdom of the proponents of this concept, it will bring development closer to the people. Constituency Project at its inception has a clear-cut pattern of operation. During the budget process, legislators identify projects to be established in their constituencies. This is supposed to be a product of need assessment involving the constituents. The arrangement is that the award of the contract, supervision and payment for such projects are carried out by a ministry, department or agency of government. It is expected that the legislators do not have any control over the funds and execution.
But the thing is that the idea that people have about this is that the members are being given this money to put in their pocket, and that is the most unfortunate thing. We can only make people to start having faith in that constituency project when we were able to be imparting life with that which have been budgeted.
Constituency Project can arguably be described as the most controversial program of the National Assembly. At the inception of the program in 2001, each member is allocated 5 million naira as constituency funds, but at present it is well over 100 million. Some critics doubt if it is value for money that the constituents get.
Constituency project is actually one of the projects. Which we are certain of and which have direct impact on the life of the people.
there is always a ceiling. You will say that, yes, this is my ceiling for budget. But my budget in my constituency may be about electricity. But the requirement to the ordinary man is to dig, to do wells, to do ordinary wells.
On the 8th of November 2023, Budget, a civil society organization that tracks the implementation of constituency projects across the country, released its 2022 report, where it revealed that out of 3,691 projects tracked in 22 states, between August 2022 and August 2023, only 337 were completed.
We have to take lessons from countries like Kenya, as mentioned, where there are even committees at the local constituency level responsible for, first of all, conducting needs assessment within the constituency and then making a request to a national body that will now release funds to that committee to implement those projects. What the lawmaker does is to pretend over and oversight to make sure that what is being implemented in the constituency is done effectively.
Constituency project is a global practice across parliament, but what differs is the management and implementation process. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Ignatius, for that report on accountability. And this is where we end the news at 10. Thank you so much for your time. See you at 11. Much. Here's the news update at 11. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Part of the reforms of the federal government to ensure effective policing is the complete overhaul of institutions and mindset of officers into a modern-day internal security standard. Vice President